good? What's good? It's your boy, OG Sitting. We in the motherfucking building tonight. Salute, salute. That's a long applause, but I'll take it. That's a long applause, but I'll take it. What's going on, folk? This is going to be a rough one. The first one's always a rough one, right? The first one is always a rough one. I got an echo. But anyway, yeah, we here to talk about our Raiders. My Raiders. Sheesh. I don't even know where to begin. I really don't know where to begin. Let's start where it all began. When I was a young chap. Is that what they call it? Young chap. When I was a young little cat. You feel me? My family, they were all Cowboy fans because we had a star in the town by the name of Drew Pearson, number 88. And everybody in the town was a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? I was forced. That's better. I was forced into being a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? My family was a Cowboys fan. I was a young kid. I ain't know no better. But, you know, since I knew the family, I was riding and dying with it. You feel me? But as I got older, you know, got into the middle school and whatnot, that's when I started falling in love with hip hop. And I just wanted to find my own lane, you know what I'm saying? Like all my friends were Cowboys fans, either Redskins fans, Giants fans, Green Bay fans. Hold on, let me bring up the chat. I see people loading in here. Y'all could type in the chat so I could read or whatever. But yeah, you know, I just wanted to be different, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, of course, NWA was jumping at that time. I was like the black sheep of the family, you feel me? Like I was just always different, only child, whatnot. I just didn't want to follow no more. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ride it out with the team in black. You know, I started watching football and they were just badass, man. You know what I'm saying? It was out there. It was like they was the bad boys of football, you feel me? Like the Cowboys was prestiged and everybody was kissing their ass. And like I said, my family, they were all Cowboys fans and shit like that. And I was dolo, you know what I'm saying? So I just like, fuck it, let me go with black. Let me go with black. I want to bet on black. So I went with the Raiders, you feel me? Hey, hello, hello. Um, so you know, when I got my starter jacket, you know what I'm saying? I think it was like seventh grade. They suspended me from school for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the Raider logo was banned nationwide. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what school you went to. If you wore a Raiders jacket or Raiders gear to school, they was kicking you out of school. It was that crazy back then. So you know, I got expelled from school. Seventh grade, they kicked me out. They was like, you can't wear the jacket. I was like, God damn, what did I get myself into? But then I start watching. You feel me? I started watching the games, and I just fell in love with just like breaking the law, breaking the rules. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I start digging back. You know, going back in history, watching the old film, and just seeing like learning the history. You know what I'm saying? Like it like I was telling my people, like back in those days in the 80s, the bad boy was the good guy. You feel me? The bikers, the niggas wearing the leather jackets, they was the cool guys, you feel me? But at some point a tide turned, you know what I'm saying? Like black was cool and then it became black was whack, you know what I'm saying? Like they start flooding in the pretty boy, you know, Joe Montana, and then America's team, the Cowboys, and then they kind of push the Raiders to the back. But more goes along with that, you know what I'm saying? Al Davis had a big part to do with that, you know. Shout out to Al. Um, what's good? What's good? Um, Al didn't take no shit, you know what I'm saying? Like he he set a lot of trends for the NFL, you know what I'm saying? And I think the game wouldn't be the way the game is well, not today, but the game wouldn't have been the way it was if it wasn't for Al. You know what I'm saying? He was a trendsetter for a lot of shit. You feel me? And he said, "Say the N word." I'm trying to get to monetize, nigga. I'm trying to get my shit up and running. You feel me? I ain't trying to. I don't want no flags on my ish. You feel me? But don't worry. It's gonna slip. I'm gonna slip up. Hello, hello. So with that being said, like I always told my people, I'm like, the NFL went from black being like up here to pushing it in the back. You had America's team, you had the Giants, and then you had Green Bay, and then you had the Patriots. They started pushing that 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 how can I put it? They start pushing that like family team shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is more for America. You know what I'm saying? We want a good product on TV and whatnot. The Raiders, they was good for back in the '80s, being the rebels and shit like that. But moving forward, we want to keep that in the back, and it's almost how they did masculinity, in my opinion. We talking about the Raiders, Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of like took masculinity and threw it in the trash, and I feel like that's how they did with the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? The Raiders just they was the bad boys, man. Then they just kind of penalized us every fucking game. They wouldn't let us get over the hump. You feel me? It's like we had a black cloud over us. But like Al Davis suing the NFL, I think they held on to that and they were like, yo, this motherfucker sued us and actually won. Fuck these motherfuckers. See, there we go to cursing, right? They're like, fuck these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't gonna let them get that. You know what I'm saying? And granted, I understand the players playing on the field and the organizations and the people at the top that run the NFL really don't have that much to do with it. But in my mind, I really believe like they be making phone calls down to the refs, like, yo, throw a flag on these motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna let them win. You know, that's just how I feel. That's how I feel. I've been following these motherfuckers forever. I've been through a lot of heartbreaks with these motherfuckers. I got tattoos all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Raider Nation. But like I said, I was young at that time, so I really didn't experience the full effect of what it was to be a Raider fan. I was just all the way over here in Jersey watching it on TV. And then I started going to a couple games, but never made it out to California. I would go to away games. I go to Giants Stadium and shit like that and check the Raiders when they would come here. And it seemed like every time they came here, they would win. So I'm just like, yo, I can't wait. I can't wait to go out to the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, that's where they were playing. They were playing in the Bay, Oakland. You know, I was a fan when they were in LA, but I remember mostly for being in Oakland. And seeing the fan base on TV, seeing how passionate the Raider fans were. Like I felt it when I went to the away games, but I always wanted to know what it felt like being in Oakland. I always wanted to know, right? So one day, my boy got rested. So he's a Jets fan. He was like, "Yo, dog, I got season tickets. And guess who the Jets are playing?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "They're playing the Raiders, dog." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." He's like, "Yeah, but it's in Oakland." I'm like, "Bet we going." I was soup. I'm like, "Yo, my boy looked me out, man. I'm about to go see my first Raider game in Oakland." And it was crazy because when he passed away before the season started, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" I like we had so many plans. Like that shit fucked me up because like I was watching football with this dude every Sunday. I just I was in disbelief. I didn't care about the football at that time, but I'm just saying those are memories that we shared. You know what I'm saying? But him having the season tickets, he said we were going to go to Oakland and watch the Raiders play against the Jets. I was soup. So his mother hit me up. She's like, "You know, Steve had the season tickets. I know y'all go watch the games every Sunday. I want to give you the season tickets so you can go enjoy. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. She told me, I want you to bring a friend to every game, a friend of his, and you go with them. That meant a lot to me, you know what I'm saying? So I told her I'll do that for her, and I'll do that for him. So, we went to all the home games the Jets played. But when that game came up to go to Oakland, I hit one of my boys up at the time. He was my boy. And I was like, yo, I got tickets to go to Oakland to see the Raiders play against the Jets. You down? He said, yeah. Now, when I tell you, throughout my life, I experienced a lot of ups. I mean, a lot of ups. Nigga, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Prague, been to Miami, been to the illest clubs in America, been to go-go bars. I had so much fun in my lifetime, bro. So much fun. But no experience matches the experience I had in Oakland. None of them. When I tell you, my anxiety was sky high. I had to take Xanax the day before the game. I thought I was going to have a panic attack. That's how crazy the atmosphere was in Oakland. So we flew out. Couldn't sleep the day before. Everybody at the tailgate. And literally the stadium was like a 15-minute walk from the hotel. So everybody would walk on the street, make their way to the stadium. No. We had to get on the BART. We got on the BART. And then we got off. And then we walked over this overpass. And then you see the old Daco. It looked like you was coming in, you was going to prison. You were going into prison. They had the gates and shit on the side. And you see the big Oakland A sign and the Raiders sign on the stadium. Nigga, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. Nigga, my chest was like, I had to take another Xanax. I was tripping. I was like, I don't believe I'm here in Oakland. I'm here in fucking Oakland. Now, at that time on Instagram, I went by the name of Raider Pittman. I had a lot of friends. I still do, but I'm saying like a lot of Raider fans and friends that we kept in touch. So I wish I had Shaq money. But when I got out to Oakland, it was nothing but love. It was like, yo, you actually came from Jersey, dog. You came from Jersey. You came to the game. I was like, yeah, this is my first game, man. I mean, it was like the scene looked like Mad Max. Like I've been to away games. Like I've been to Jets games. I've been to Philly games. When you go to a football game, you'll see the other team's fan base in the crowd. You feel me? But when you went to Oakland, you didn't see nobody. I'm talking about everybody was wearing black. It was all Raider fans all over the fucking place. So that was the true definition of home field advantage. I've never in my life been to a stadium where the other team fans were afraid to come. I mean, for good reason, because Raider fans ain't no joke. You got a lot of motherfuckers just got out the pen. You got a lot of gang members and shit like that. You feel me? Like, it was real. It was real. Like, when the stories you hear about, niggas talk about on TV, like those Raider fans were crazy. That's how it was in Oakland. It was crazy. It wasn't dangerous. It was dangerous if you was just too disrespectful. Like, motherfuckers would put some Kool-Aid in your mouth. You feel me? Pause. But when I went out there, it was all love. They was like, yo, Raider Pittman, welcome to Oakland, man. Welcome to the B-Lot, D-Lot, all that shit. We was out there lit, turned up, this and that. And then we get inside, bruh. And I had good tickets, nigga. I had good tickets. Like, I'm damn near by the black hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, we with the crazy people. You feel me? We with the diehard fans. You feel me? Like the shit was lit, and I had the best time of my life. And I went out there 3 times. I went to Oakland 3 times, and I tell people to this day, if you've never been to Oakland, and I know this is going to sound crazy coming from somebody that's from Jersey, somebody that's all the way on the opposite coast, and I haven't been a Raider fan that long since '89. '89, I've been a Raider fan. So I know it's going to sound crazy to say, but I always tell people, like, if you haven't experienced a Raiders game in Oakland, you don't know what it feels like to be a real Raider fan. Like, it's one thing to go away to a away game and meet up with Raider fans. The shit is lit. But going to Oakland is a whole motherfucking another level. It's like playing a video game, flying an airplane, right? And then imagine you getting into a real airplane. Like, that's some real shit, nigga. That's what it's like going to Oakland. So when I sit back and I watch the fans and how invested they were in the Raiders in Oakland, in California, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. Now, moving fast forward to watching now, like, and I'll be the first one to say, when they said the Raiders were going to move to Vegas, I was not cool with it because I already knew, like, ain't no place like Oakland. There's no place like Cali. You taking the Raiders out of LA is like taking the Knicks out of New York. That's just how I felt. Imagine taking the Knicks and moving them to Maine. That shit don't make no sense. So taking the Raiders and moving them to Vegas, it didn't make no sense. But the way they sold it, I was like, you know what? Like, if I had to vote on it, I was going to vote stay in Oakland. But the way they was talking, like there was no chance for the Raiders to stay in Cali, I was invested in my team, the Raiders. So when they said they were going to Vegas, I was with it because the whole Sin City Raiders shit sounded badass. You know what I'm saying? Like, bet on black and all that shit. I was like, yeah, this shit gonna be lit, right? But it didn't hit me until I seen how devastated the Oakland fans were. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of Raider fans that were in Oakland, they stopped following the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? And I don't knock them for it because it's like a bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Like, you took the body, but you left the veins. You know what I'm saying? It's like the shit ain't gonna work. You can't put fake veins in the body and expect the blood to flow. And that's what they did with the Raiders when they moved them to Vegas. Because those people in Vegas don't appreciate the Raiders. I feel like damn near 80% of people in Vegas ain't even from Vegas. I feel like they transplants from other states that just moved to Vegas. That's just my opinion. Because there ain't no way in hell that place ain't sold out. And if you lived in Vegas, I'm sure you get first dibs on tickets and shit, nigga. Like, why that shit ain't sold out, blacked out like it was in Oakland? It don't make no sense to me. But for example, hold on, let me show you something. I want to show you something. Peep this. Peep this. If I can find it. Now, that's what I'm talking about when I mean, like, you can't take the body and leave the veins. They took the body of the Raiders and moved them, but left the veins in Cali. And like I said, I'm from Jersey. But for me to go to Oakland and experience that atmosphere, and then watch the games on TV today, it's never going to get back to the way it used to be. And that's my honest opinion. It's never going to get back to the way it used to be. And this shit is sad. Like, I ain't going to lie. I don't even watch the games no more because it's sad to watch a game, right, and see shit like this. It's sad to turn on the TV and see shit like this. Now, when they were in Cali, when they were in Oakland, you would never in your life ever see no shit like that. This is what it looked like when I went to Oakland. Peep it. That's what a Raiders home game should look like. A Raider home game is a vibe. A Raiders home game is Mad Max. A Raider home game is like the freaking Gladiators. Fucking it's dangerous, motherfucker. That's what I'm saying. It's dangerous. Like another nigga team, like the other team ain't coming in there feeling comfortable. You feel me? Like it's a party, but it's a home party like this. Those days we will never get back in Vegas. You know why? Because we're a circus now. We're a circus. Like, I really feel like the NFL said, fuck Al Davis for fucking suing us and winning. Your little silver spoon in the mouth ass son don't know shit about football, and we're going to get our payback on that little motherfucker. And I feel like that's what they doing. They got this motherfucker being the head of the circus. He don't know shit about football. He brung in Tom Brady. Tom Brady's, I guess you could say he trying, but trying ain't enough. Like, you need to figure a way to keep the away team out of Gillette Stadium and turn that shit back into how it was in Oakland. How that's going to happen, I have no fucking clue. But it needs to. There's no way me as an athlete playing at home going to feel comfortable coming out on the field, looking in the stands and seeing a fucking 70-30 split. Like, I really feel like it's like 70% the away team and 30% home team. Even my man Wasted said it.
Allegiant Stadium has become a football theme park. You get to see a concert. You know, people are jumping motorcycles and, you know, dancing in circles and doing all of this bullshit. They're doing everything but winning football games. It's like a museum of the greatness of the Raiders past. All it is a theme park. It's like Universal Studios. It's an attraction. Everybody from out of town brings their woman there because they know that their team's going to get a win, and they know that it's a good destination. But we don't know as fans that good football is going to be played. Stadium has become.
And that's why you wouldn't be able to pay me to go Oakland. I mean, not Oakland, go to Vegas. Somebody could call me tomorrow and be like, yo, I got front row seats, nigga, in the black hole. The Raiders, I don't care if they were 500 right now. If their record was 500, I still wouldn't go to the game. I wouldn't go to the game. You know why? Because I'm spoiled. Because I've been to Oakland. I'm spoiled. I know what it feels like to be part of Raider Nation and that family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that Raider Nation and the family does not exist in Vegas. The body is there, but the veins aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, the blood is not flowing through the body in Vegas. It's just not. Because you got other motherfuckers coming there, taking up the seats, other motherfuckers in there, waving their flags. The body is in Vegas, but the veins are not with the body. Like I said, I've been to Oakland. I know what it feels like. Max is about to break it down to you too.
You missed the black hole in Oakland.
Absolutely. And someone has asked me, like, did you play for the Oakland Raiders at one point? And I was like, that year was one, I'll never forget it, like, for many reasons, good and bad. The fans in Oakland, I'm so happy, like, I got to experience that. And obviously it was the last year in Oakland, and just the fans, like, I can't even explain. I'm coming from Eastern Michigan. Like, we had 12,000 in the crowd. They got tarps over the away side because there's nobody, you know what I mean? Nobody over there. Like, that's what it was. And then my first game, we're playing Denver on Monday night. Von Miller's on the other side. We got, we're playing Denver. Like, the crowd was, I can't even explain how ridiculous it was. They're throwing shit on the field. They're like, people falling out of the stands, like, just a shit show. And then by the time the fourth quarter hits, you get the wave of Kush going through the whole the whole stadium, and I'm looking around, and all the guys are like, "Welcome to Oakland."
You missed the.
That's exactly how it was too. That's exactly how it was, man. Like, I'm reminiscing while that motherfucker's explaining that shit. I'm sitting here like, God damn, that's exactly how that shit was, man. Like, I really don't know what to say. Like, I feel bad for the younger generation. Well, I don't feel bad for them because they're never going to ever experience what it's like to be a real Raiders fan. Vegas is not going to get that body. That Vegas, it's too many implants in Vegas. Like, it's just not going to work, man. The only way the Raiders are going to get back up on top, they got to get back to Cali, bro. They got to get back to Cali somehow, some way. The Raiders got to make their way back to California. Until then, it's just going to be a body without veins in Vegas. And that's my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched a video earlier today. I should have put it in the vault. But they were talking about how Gruden and Derek Carr and Gruden won the appeal, but the NFL might take it to the grand something. I don't know. But supposedly they're talking about, like, Gruden's gonna come back, and so is Derek Carr. And I'm like, that sounds good and all, but bro, it ain't gonna work as long as they're in Vegas. It really ain't. The Raiders need to go back to Cali. That's all I got to say. I just want to get that shit off my chest, man. I had a lot people hitting me up like, the Raiders suck, dog. You been watching? No, I don't watch the games no more. I don't watch the games. I'm not watching, bro. I can't watch. My life's been so much peaceful, stress-free, not watching. Sad to say, but it's the truth. And when they get that blood flowing again and they get those transplants out of Gillette Stadium, then maybe I'll make a trip to Vegas. But I'm not going there if you allowing fucking the other team fans to have fucking at least 60% of the capacity. It shit just doesn't make no sense. It was never like that in Oakland. Never. Ever. Anyway, that being said, man, I'm about to dip on out of here. Get some more videos and you know, I'll be back at it again tomorrow probably. I'll holla.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously.